Pool cleaning is a year-round job, just to make sure that it's staying on top of it. I know a lot of people like boats here. They always say the worst day of owning a boat is the day you buy it, and the best day is the day you sell it. When it comes to maintenance and everything, the summer season and the warmer parts of the year are the most important times. The reason why is because that's when a lot of people are using the pool. But at the same time, algae can sprout up anywhere. It centers around liabilities, insurance, and warranty. Most homeowners insurance does cover pools, and it's basically what it does cover is it covers essentially anything like hail, lightning, or hurricanes. Coverage for most pools, and based on the policy, it's usually around up to $100,000. But if you have a big pool, like let's say it's over 20,000 gallons, like I would probably get coverage to like 300,000 to 500,000, just in case if something major foundationally happens. That's a big expense. Just making sure you're covered there.
Welcome everybody to The Collective. This is Stephen McManus with Coastal Collective Group. Today I have Jonah Paquette with Carolina Coastline Pool Care. Appreciate you joining me.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Let's hear about you. People want to know who you are, your business, and how you can provide value to those who are looking to buy a pool and people who currently own.
Yeah, of course. Well, for starters, I mean, I grew up in Charleston, so I'm a native. I know we are like a rare breed these days, but I, born up here, so I've seen the city change a lot. I spent a few years in corporate America working in offices. Somewhere along the line, I decided I wanted to pursue my entrepreneurial spirit. I stumbled upon starting a pool care and maintenance company, and now here I am.
What got you into pool care? Why was that the thing for you?
To be honest, it wasn't even something I expected. I was with a buddy brainstorming things for me to do. It sounded like a cool industry. It sounded like one that I could be outside all the time, which I enjoy, and very customer facing where I get to talk to customers and just build relationships. And so after some further consideration, I decided to jump in and do it.
You're in a good location for
Definitely,
that type
for
of
sure.
industry. Being outside, handling customer, issues or whatever. I think it's a really cool industry to be in, specifically in Mount Pleasant, because as you know, the real estate is skyrocketing. The types of buyers who are here are able to afford a pool, or there's already a pool in the property. Something people don't think about as a real estate agent is pool care. You're looking at a pool and you're like, oh, wow, cool. I have a pool in this property. Or when you're doing a search for a pool, you think home inspection, CL 100, termite inspection, but you don't think pool inspection. And that's where you come in. So in the stages of buying a home, how do you come in? Where's your value in being able to vet that? What is it that you do and the services that you provide?
Yeah, for starters, it's so overlooked. People are, when they're home inspection, they're really only caring about the house. They're not actually caring about the pool. I got started in inspections is because I had a lot of customers that just bought new houses, and then I was coming out to them and fixing issues with the pool. And that's when I realized, this is actually a side that's very overlooked. So in terms of pool inspections, if there's things you want to know, I would ask, is the structure of the pool good? Basically, what I mean by that is, are there tears in the vinyl liner or cracks in the foundation of a concrete pool, which can cause maybe leaks, or it has to be resealed? Those are all costly repairs that can happen. And then on top of that, I would also ask how old the pool is, because it gets you a general idea of how old the equipment is, whether the pump needs to be replaced, whether the filter needs to be replaced. The filter is not as expensive, anywhere from a few $100 to a few $1,000s, depending on the size of your pool. And so it's all very important things to know. And then I would also ask, is the water properly balanced? I cannot even begin to tell you the amount of times I've come out to new home buyers with pools and the pool is green. If I'm buying a house with a pool, the day I close on that thing, if I want to jump in the pool, I want to be able to do it. I don't want to come to a house that I just bought and then all of a sudden, oh crap, I've got to put a bunch of chemicals in. I've got to do a bunch of other things to make it look good. These are good things that people don't really, it's overlooked and people miss them. It can also help buyers when it comes to negotiating on the price too. You can come to the seller and say, hey, listen, we'd love to buy this house, but it's clear the pool is not in good condition. We're interested because we want to use the pool for all the fun, perks, and privileges that it provides. You can get the seller to make some concessions on repairing the pool to make sure that it's in good working order.
That's all really good stuff. It's everything the buyer needs to know, and the homeowner as well. During the process of vetting a home to buy, when you're under contract, you're in due diligence, there's a pool on the property, we call you to take a look at it, do an inspection, right? You would do like a formal inspection.
Yeah, correct.
Come up with an inspection report.
Correct.
In instances where there need to be improvements or repairs, would you provide some sort of estimate?
Yeah, I would definitely provide an estimate.
Use that estimate to take back into negotiation and help improve the price, correct?
Exactly, correct. I can do as much repairs as I can, but if there's something major, like an electrical problem, I don't know about you, but I'm not an electrician. The last thing I want to do is start an electrical fire.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Even if it's something I can't do, I will go to other companies that can. I will provide the estimate to the buyers.
So you have a network of professionals that can fill the gaps of areas technically that you don't really deal with from a pool care perspective.
Correct.
Okay, so you have that network. Okay, good. So I'm seeing the branches for the client, the ultimate reason we're in existence. They have me as their agent, you as a pool inspector who can also do many repairs. Another branch is your network of professionals to help fill in any gaps of areas that you don't cover.
Exactly.
And you vet them and keep them up to date with how they performed and all that. You have a process there.
Exactly. They're just people I've met in the industry. We've helped each other out. If I have a potential lead on a client and they have some work I can't do, I'm happy to share it out to some people that I've met in the industry. Or let's say I even have just overload, like I can't take on anymore. I already have too many clients already as it is. Mm-hmm. I'm happy to send that work out to any other people that I trust, that I've worked with before in the past. And it's that relationship with other companies in the area that has really served me well.
Yeah, let's move to another topic. This client has closed on the home. They're happy. The pool's operating well. They're enjoying it. 6 months down the road, they're thinking, wow, I need to maintain this. Let's talk to them about maintaining the pool properly. What do they need to do on an annual basis? Can they use you for that? Tell me about that.
For starters, they can use me. Pool cleaning is a year-round job, just to make sure that it's staying on top of it. I know a lot of people like boats here. They always say the worst day of owning a boat is the day you buy it, and the best day is the day you sell it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work and maintenance that is involved with it. When it comes to maintenance and everything, the summer season and the warmer parts of the year are the most important times. The reason why is because that's when a lot of people are using the pool.
Yeah.
But at the same time, algae can sprout up anywhere. Algae can only grow in temperatures of 60 degrees or higher, water temperature wise. So in the summer, you really want to be checking the pool chemistry every week and shocking that pool every week and just making sure that pump and filter system are running 6 to 8 hours a day. In winter, you don't have to stay on top of it as much because it is colder. We're not getting a lot of use out of it.
It might be covered.
Yeah, it could be covered too. You see more coverings in the north because it gets colder. Covering I recommend because in the winter leaves fall and it can be a pain.
It's windy down here. Anything could blow into that pool all day.
Come springtime, you've got a boatload of leaves in the bottom that you've got to get all out. In the wintertime, all you need to do really is just check in it once every 2 weeks to once a month. Checking that and just shocking the pool and making sure everything's all right. Letting the system run for a little bit. But you don't have to stay on top of it as much.
When you say shocking it, what do you mean? Are you throwing some chemicals in there that clean it? What is shocking it?
The process you do every week, essentially chlorinating the water.
Okay.
And the biggest thing is that out of all the chemicals in a pool, chlorine is number one. The chlorine is the number one chemical you should care about because it kills bacteria and algae in the water. Having a good level of chlorine content in your pool will make sure that your pool is looking good.
What are some other chemicals? And is there anything people have reactions to? Is there any value from a chemical perspective you can give to our audience?
Yeah, with chemicals, staying on top of your chlorine is by far the number one thing. There also is other chemicals, making sure your pH is right, your alkalinity, which is sodium bicarbonate or baking soda, your calcium hardness, and your cyanuric acid. Your cyanuric acid affects how your chlorine lasts because cyanuric acid protects it from the sun. Have you seen those hockey puck chlorine tablets?
Yeah, oh yeah.
You ever open one after a few days? It looks like flesh-eating bacteria eating at it.
Jeez.
That's the sun. How it dissolves. Maybe it's stronger use of wording, but it looks like
I know what you mean. Yeah, so I had to do that at one point.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's interesting to hear from you all the different chemicals that go into it and what they're used for. But chlorine would be the main one, and the homeowner themselves can handle those levels, or how
Yeah,
does that work?
they can if they want to. I come in and make that process seamless
Okay.
where they don't even have to worry about it. There's also different types of chlorine. The main pools are chlorine pools and saltwater pools.
Yeah, that was the next question I had was, what is the care difference between a chlorinated pool and a saltwater pool? Is there much difference?
I mean, in terms of like the overall care, I guess in terms of like spending, you're probably going to spend a little less if you have a saltwater pool versus a chlorine pool, but they all have their own trade-offs. With a saltwater pool, you put a bunch of bags of salt in and you have a saltwater chlorinator. And essentially what it does is that it takes the salt crystals and it turns it into chlorine. The salt, when you put a lot of salt in, it actually, that salt level lasts a lot longer. Versus chlorine, when you're having tablets, you're usually going once every week or every other week putting more chlorine tablets in. So you definitely save a little bit more money if you have a saltwater pool. It's not by any means like an astronomical amount, but you save a little bit more because typically with saltwater pools, you're usually putting in salt about twice a year. And, you know, it depends on how big your pool is too, but you're usually putting in a few bags versus like with chlorine, especially if you have tablets, you're usually putting tablets in every week or every 2 weeks.
So it sounds like a chlorinated pool is more work and more expensive. What's the advantage of a chlorine pool over a saltwater pool, or is there?
I mean, I guess like, you know, it's just, I would say like there's not really an advantage. It's just kind of a difference. I know that, you know, with the saltwater generator, that's something that you have to replace every 3 to 5 years. A typical saltwater cell generator can run you anywhere from like $450 to $800 versus if you're just using chlorine tabs, then it's kind of a just over time, like, you know, you're buying tabs maybe every month, every 2 months or stuff like that. It's just a difference in pools. I wouldn't say there's an advantage, but it's just the difference between the two. Chemicals, on the saltwater side, you're going to spend a little bit less compared to the chlorine pools.
Okay. The equipment that goes into owning a pool, typically hidden in the backyard, how long does that last? And, you know, someone coming into owning a pool for the first time might not have any idea. Yeah. Does that stuff last for 30 years? Or is that like an every 10-year thing? Is that less? What can you say about that so you can relieve some concern from people who have never owned a pool before?
Yeah, it depends on the equipment. If we're talking like robotics or even pumps, it's been well known in the industry that a lot of these manufacturers tend to not make them very well. I don't want expectations because if you keep it in good condition, it will last longer. But it depends. If you're putting a high stress load onto a pump, or let's say you're throwing in a robot constantly every single day, over time you'll see wear and tear and it could break down. But if you're doing it periodically, let's say once a week or once every 2 weeks, sparingly, it'll last a lot longer.
That's why my robot vacuums break. I run them way too much. I don't need to. So you provide the homeowner with, this is how often you should use, based upon your situation, your pool, your lifestyle. This is how often you clean your pool. This is the levels you want to keep your pool at. From a chemical perspective, here's the seasonal care routine. Here's the annual care routine. That's basically, in a nutshell, owning a pool after you've closed. So we've hit how to inspect, how to negotiate, or how we would negotiate together to get a price reduced during negotiation. During pool ownership, that period of time where you live in a home with a pool, how to take care of it seasonally and daily, really. What other tidbits of knowledge can you give our viewers about pool ownership?
It's my job to make sure the pool looks good and that the customer does not have to worry about anything. If you're not calling me and asking me for a problem, that means I'm doing my job, plain and simple. In terms of tips, we can start with the difference between an above ground pool and an in-ground pool, especially with above ground pools. If you're going to get an above ground pool, get an above ground hard shell pool. They have metal stakes in the ground, and then it's a hard shell that lines the pool versus what we call above ground soft, which are more like your Intex pools. They're not staked into the ground. It kind of looks like whenever you're pitching a tent, like those camping stakes.
Yeah, it's holding itself up.
The reason why is if an above ground soft pool goes green and there's algae, no established company will touch it. If that happens, you have to drain it, wipe down the surface, then refill it. The pumps that come with these above ground soft pools, they're not strong enough to put a vacuum hose to it and turn the water. No established company here in Charleston will touch them at all. Everybody will tell you good luck trying to do all this. So if you're going to get an above ground pool, please get an above ground hard. And honestly, if you're going to do that, build a deck around it too.
Yeah.
It makes it a lot physically easier, especially to maintaining, because if you think about it, like if let's say there's leaves on the top, it's a lot easier to get leaves when you're kind of going down like this versus you're up like this and you're trying to reach over like that. It's a lot easier on you physically.
95% of my clients in this area have a built-in pool, but if there is somebody who has an above ground, I wouldn't unless you inspected it if there was a deck around it. I've not even seen one above ground pool that didn't have a deck around it.
Yeah.
Since I've been doing real estate here. I know they're there and I've seen a few pictures of some, but what you're going to primarily deal with, I think, is in-ground. Is that true for your client base?
It's more in-ground, but quite a few above ground
Do you?
too.
I didn't know they still made those.
Yeah, they still, it's a niche I've carved out. A lot of the companies don't want to do it.
You'll do it.
Yeah, I'll do
cool.
it.
You do both.
Yeah, I can do both.
Well, cool. Tips can you give homeowners to maintain the best pool?
I can give you a list of supplies you'll need.
Let's hear it.
Here is Jonah's bare bone list. 1, you need a telescopic pool pole. Get the industrial grade one. It's going to run you like $80 or so. It's a lot stronger because I know that when I first started out in the industry, I got one of the cheaper ones for like $25, $30 maybe. Yeah. If you're lifting something heavy, especially with the water, it has so much friction to it, right? I've had one where it literally just snapped on me after 2-3 months of use. Like they sell industrial ones made of higher steel. Next, you need a brush for the walls. This depends on the type of pool you have. If you have a vinyl liner pool, you want to just have a nylon brush. And also this applies also to the fiberglass pools. A nylon 360-degree brush. What I mean by 360 is at the ends of it, it's 360 degrees. So like you have your main brush here, and then at the ends of it, it's like a whole 360. It's easier if you need to do any brushing around the steps of the pool or hard to reach areas like behind the ladder. If you have an in-ground pool with concrete, you need to have a steel brush, because the reason why is because the concrete, it's a very porous material, and dirt, debris, or algae can get into those pores. Nylon brush isn't going to be able to brush all that stuff, but having a steel wire brush, you're able to get it, and it's able to brush off immediately. So you need to have either, if you have a fiberglass pool or vinyl liner, get that nylon 360 brush. And then if you have a concrete pool, get a steel brush. Next, get a vacuum head for vacuuming and a vacuum hose. So there's 2 types. You can either get a brush one or a roller. The rollers are really good, especially for the in-ground pools, because it allows you to kind of get up those surfaces like that. And then if you have more vinyl liners, the brush ones are really good. Get that. And then the vacuum hose, it just depends on the type of size of pool you have. Mm-hmm. Typically, like, small pool, that's like anything that's 10,000 gallons and below. Probably get like 15-foot hose will do you fine. But let's say you have like a medium to large size, so let's say like 15,000 to 20,000 up. Get it anywhere from a 30 feet to like a 45-foot hose. Because the last thing that you want is you have a small hose and then all of a sudden you ran out of hose and then you can't get to that area at all. Yeah. So
no, that's good stuff.
Make sure to get a good hose, and the basic chemicals, chlorine or salt, whichever system you have. Mm-hmm. Make sure you get your pH increaser or decreaser. Get that. Get your alkalinity, or otherwise known as baking soda, your calcium, and then
sodium bicarbonate.
Remember, get your calcium and your shock. If I had to recommend a shock, get a shock of the calcium hypochlorite. It's the strongest shock on the market, and it's always going to do its job no matter what. For a test kit, if you're getting a test kit, get the liquid test kit compared to the strips. Yeah. The test strips, they're not very accurate. Yeah, they're gimmicky, and you only have 30 seconds to to be able to get a reading. Whereas like the liquid, it's a lot more accurate. It's like, put this drops here, swirl it. It
tells you what color. I remember doing that in my lifeguard days.
They're so much better.
There's different brands for each one. Anybody can reach out to ask, hey, Jonah, what brand should I get? Should I trust this brand? Should I trust this one? What should I be paying from a price point perspective? What's crazy? What's too much? What seems like it's not enough, like it's too good to be true? Is that something somebody can ask you about?
You just give me a good idea. Maybe I'll
publish a price sheet or something?
Like a shopping list.
That's a good idea.
What I'll do. We can get a shopping list together.
Because if you're giving stuff out to clients and customers who don't know you and giving them free value, they're going to come to you, ask questions, and maybe use your services. I'm all about free value. I like to give people as much as I can before they use me, so they know that I'm not just in it to this is not just a transactional type thing. This is a relationship.
I feel like in any industry, it can be easy to come off like you're in it for the money. But if you come off as you're just in this because you enjoy doing what you do and you want to provide value, even if they don't go with you, that's the best way. You may not get immediate returns, or in the long run, it will work out.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's all about helping people. That's where the true value is. That's where the purpose is. Some people, success is money, and some people, success is helping your fellow man. And
Yeah.
I think as you mature in your career and in life, you find out that's way more valuable because it fills you up here. Lots of value there. My head's spinning a little bit.
Will be on the final exam later.
Yeah. Owning a pool is simple if you have the right resources, if you have a plan and you have it scheduled, right? How would you recommend a pool owner plan their year? Should they put all this in the calendar? How does a successful pool owner look to you?
If you want to go just like a super bare bones, just minimalist thing, I would just say on your calendar, especially here in South Carolina, mid-March, just kind of make a note like, all right, it's about time like we should start opening the pool back up again. I should probably start reaching out to
Mid-March,
people, right?
open the pool. Okay.
Okay.
Boom.
And
Log
then the opposite side for closing it down in the winter, I'd say early November. I've seen 70-degree days here in Charleston before. It doesn't happen very
We
often.
just had an
but
85-degree day in January
Right.
and snow.
like back to back.
Wild.
It's crazy. Early November,
Yeah.
late October.
Okay. Open March, close
Yeah.
October, November. And maintenance monthly?
I break it down by either a weekly or bi-weekly basis.
Okay.
Sometimes I do once a month for some clients that are just in the winter. When season comes back, we ramp back up again.
Brushing, monthly regulating chemicals,
Yeah.
testing chemicals, brushing, vacuuming.
Yeah, exactly. That's all included in the service. A lot of customers
Okay.
ask, does that include chemicals? Yes.
Oh, cool.
It should include chemicals, the cost of the service.
If you're looking to buy a home and you say, hey, Steven, I want a pool, I'm going to tailor your search to a pool. We're going to look at homes with pools. We're going to go under contract with one of them. I'm going to give Jonah a call, or at least I'll recommend that we hire him. Now, give me some costs for a pool inspection. I know there's a range. What should someone expect from a basic pool inspection for going under contract and due diligence?
I would say for a pool inspection, anywhere from $200 to $400.
$200 to $400. Home inspection somewhere between $500 to $800. It really just depends on the size of the home. Could be over $1,000. CL 100 inspection, which is termite, a couple $100. If you're looking at a $5 million home, inspections are a lot more, a couple thousand at least. Your basic Mount Pleasant home, somewhere between 800 and 2 million. I would assume it's probably going to be in the 400 range.
Yeah.
Home inspection probably around 800-900, and then CL 100 around 3. So it's a small price to pay to make sure during due diligence that your investment is protected. If you get into a home, everything checks out, but you didn't look at the pool, and you find out there's a crack in the foundation of the pool, leaking underground and ruining the foundation of the home, and it costs you $40,000 to fix, the whole deal doesn't look good after that. So
No.
it's definitely worth it. Once you move in, you have a healthy pool. Jonah's able to do your maintenance, which if I'm going to own a home with a pool, I'm not doing that. I'm just not doing it. Like,
A lot of people, they're not going to do it.
Do you bill annually? How does that look from a price perspective?
I bill on a monthly basis, and it just kind of depends too as well. Like I let customers have the choice on when they want to be billed. They want to be billed on the first 15th or at the end of the month. It's like whatever is good for them, because sometimes it's like, well, I get paid, like bi-weekly, or I get paid this amount.
Care about when, because they could front load the whole year. But what's the cost for that?
For maintenance, whether it's weekly or bi-weekly, again, it definitely varies on like I would say really mainly the size of the pool. Because however big it is going to determine how much chemicals we'll need to put in on monthly. But I would say from a weekly basis, anywhere from $200 to $400, maybe even $450 is fair for biweekly, and $150 to $300 is fair.
If I had a pool average size, 15,000 gallons,
I would say it's a medium-sized pool.
All right, so a medium-sized pool of 15,000 gallons, and I wanted you to maintain it for me, and I wanted you to charge me monthly, and I just wanted an average amount of maintenance. I don't need some crazy OCD level care, and I don't want it to be dirty. What would that cost me monthly?
I'd probably say 15,000 gallon pool. If I was charging you, I'd probably maybe do like $275 to $300.
$275 to $300 a month for an average 15,000 gallon pool.
So it comes out to about 68 to $72 a trip.
Okay. Not weekly.
Every
Okay.
week, but bill monthly.
So you're there weekly, billing monthly.
A lot of my customers like that I have a software system that tells you, hey, like, so-and-so tech is on the way. Like, hey,
Nice.
they've arrived. And then they have to go through a checklist I've designated. Take a picture of the pool, hit complete, and it gets sent to the customer. Another text message goes out saying, hey, so-and-so completed your service. Hope it was good. You can rate them too. They always have a heads up. A lot of the clients I've had for a while just have a general idea of when I'm coming. They don't care as much about when it's those text messages, but especially for the new ones, like having them know when they're coming, especially on the first time, they probably want to watch things, make sure they're doing a good job and they're supervised. But it makes it seamless and effortless. The client feels like they've got everything taken care of.
That's awesome. And even if you don't hire Jonah to do monthly maintenance, he could definitely come out for, let's say you're having a backyard barbecue or something like that. I'm sure you could come out and do a nice overhaul of the pool and make it look sparkling clean for you. Your landscapers can come, your cleaners, like you'd have all those people coming at the same time to make everything look good. I would suggest having a pool maintenance person come a few times a year to make sure you're maintaining the pool properly. It is a professional trade. If you're doing it yourself, it's a lot easier to screw up than landscaping because you can see how high the grass is or how many weeds are in the yard. But you're dealing with chemicals, and most likely your kids are going to be in that pool. You can probably get it to toxic levels if you don't be careful with how you're maintaining it. So, so price ranges, we talked about the inspection process, maintenance and care. We talked about tools and different pieces of equipment that pool owners can purchase and your recommendations. We went through a lot of good stuff. I appreciate you coming out. Anything else?
I can always talk about this.
Give me one more thing, and then we'll wrap up.
I would say it centers around liabilities, insurance, and warranties.
Ooh, I like this.
Most homeowners insurance does cover pools.
Okay.
And it's basically what it does cover is it covers essentially anything like hail, lightning, or hurricanes.
Yeah.
Coverage for most pools, and based on the policy, it's usually around up to $100,000. But if you have a big pool, like let's say it's over 20,000 gallons, like I would probably get coverage to like 300,000 to 500,000, just in case if something major foundationally happens. That's a big expense. Just making sure that you're covered there. Also, warranties do happen. There's a few types of warranties. I typically don't see a lot of home warranties with the pool being covered, but I have seen a few. Typically what it covers is replacing the filter or maybe the pool pump or the saltwater cell, more on the minor side. Warranties do not cover anything structural. Let's say there's a tear in the vinyl liner. Does not cover that. Yeah, home warranties like that has like the pool included in the warranty. Okay. It doesn't cover anything structural. If there's any cracks in the foundation or leaks, or let's say it's on your concrete pool that it needs, let's say it needs to be resealed. Yeah. It does not cover that, but it covers your pump, filtration system, your saltwater cell. It covers all that stuff, but anything that's major structural, it does not cover. And on top of that, there's also, I don't know if you want to say something, but on top of that, there's also the other type of warranties that you typically tend to get are the manufacturer warranty. Sometimes if you buy some pumps or parts, and the pool builder warranty. If you're getting a pool installed, I know that I've seen provisions where they have included warranty where if something goes wrong during the process of the build or after a certain grace period, there is a warranty. 1 year warranty type thing. Exactly.
Builder. Yeah.
Exactly. So those are the main warranties I see.
Okay. I'm glad we talked about this.
Yes.
Because I have a few more questions. First, check your home insurance if you have a pool and make sure the pool's in there. Just make sure you know what it would cover. And warranties on pretty much all the equipment. Make sure you know what kind of warranties you have. If you just built a pool, understand the warranty with the pool installer, builder, contractor, what that covers, what their reputation is with actually following through with that, because we all know a lot of builders who you have a tough time doing that. Mm-hmm. Is there a separate pool insurance you would recommend? Do they have that?
With pool insurance, there's not really, I'm sure there is some out there, but typically it's part of the homeowner's insurance. It's usually just added on to it. It's a provision. I mean, I'm sure there is, but I haven't personally ran into where there's like a pool specialized insurance. I know that even when I'm getting insurance for my business, it was tough because I had to shop around. Apparently, even getting insurance on a pool business is actually pretty tough because with the liability aspect of it, there's something with the liability aspect of it where a lot of these companies, like, they weren't able to provide me even a policy.
Wow.
I can tell you, I had a hard time just trying to even find pulling, insurance for my company because I'm working on pools. It probably is going to be pretty tough for that too. But that's not to say that it isn't out there. I'm sure it is. I haven't specifically ran into that where a homeowner, like, it was through the actually insurance that they got on the pool. But typically what I've seen is the policy is part of their homeowner's insurance, not a specialized pool insurance.
Check your homeowner's policy specifically about the pool. Make sure you're covered. Give your carrier a call to ask some questions, maybe beef up the coverage a little bit if you don't feel it's enough. It's nice to be covered. If you're maintaining the pool properly, you have way less to worry about because somebody will pick up on the fact that something's jacked up if you're maintaining it weekly. It sounds like you got a good company, a good system. I'm sure your clients are very happy. Where can people find you, Jonah?
You can reach me on my phone number. It's 843-981-4724. Or you can check out our website at carolinacoastlinepool.com.
Easy.
And there's even a form on there too as well if you want to submit an inquiry, and we'll get it right away through our emails. We'll schedule a call with you and we'll get out there and figure out what the issue is.
We love to host local businesses. Most are real estate related or have some overlap with real estate. Obviously, pools definitely do. We wanted to get this out quickly because there's more and more pools going in. It's wild how many pools are going in places where you don't think you can even fit one.
Oh, yeah, for
but they're
sure.
going in. It's a big topic. Jonah, I appreciate you joining me today, man.
Appreciate it. Is this like the part where we shake hands afterwards? Yes, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. All right, guys, you know where to follow Jonah if you have any questions about where to find him. Check the show notes. Reach out to me. I'll put you in touch. I appreciate it, man.
Him. I'm going to put a link right here. Reach out to him. Doing good
brother.
stuff.
Appreciate you.